Don't shut off on me again. Don't shut off on me again. Hi, Pagan Shooter back. I've got a new piece of equipment on the Remington 770. I'm sure you recognize it. No, it's not the cheap scope. I did put that on here to test it out on this rifle to see if it'll handle it. I have not had a chance to test that yet, but it is something I had ordered a while ago, and I put it on to the Remington 770. It is specifically designed to fit the Remington 770, and it is a Boyd's AT1 stock. This stock is custom made, supposedly custom made by Boyd's Stocks. It is specifically made, this one is specifically made for the Remington 770, and it has a few features that I kind of like. I didn't go with the standard stock for the simple reason that I wasn't sure of the pull length, so I wanted to get something that was that I could adjust. This stock does feature the raisable comb, or for the cheek rest, and we'll let you see that. And it does have a adjustable length of pull. First things first, it is unloaded. Let me pull the magazine out for you. There is no ammo in this gun whatsoever. Rifle is completely unloaded. So what did I order? Well, I ordered the walnut AT1 Boyd stock for this. The adjustments on it are done here at this end. You've got your button here, which allows for you to extend or lower the length of pull. Then you have this button here, which allows you to raise and lower the comb. Now, these are not captured pieces, so if you do push the button, they will come out entirely. So if you do pull them out, you will have to put them back in with the button, and the button will pop off. And so just keep that in mind if you do order one of these. Now, switching out the stock was an interesting thing, and we'll get to that. So my experience with Boyd's before I purchased was I actually did quite a bit of research on this company. I had heard a lot of varying things. Some people were saying it was a great stock. Some people were saying they had a few manufacturing defects. But mostly I heard that it took a long time to get these. My personal experience, and by the way, Boyd's has no idea who I am. They didn't ask me to do this. They did not provide me this stock. I purchased it off their website just like anybody else would. So this is my personal experience with this company. So my personal experience with this company was I ordered it. The transaction went through pretty smooth. It was something to watch out for when you're ordering is the price does go up depending on what features that you want on this, which is to be expected, I guess, but just pay attention to what you're ordering. If you're looking to keep the price a little bit lower, you want to kind of watch the features that you order. This is kind of a base one, so my cost didn't go up substantially. I believe this cost me right around $200 for the stock, and it is a wooden stock. It's a nice stock. The fit and finish on it is great, and we'll get more into that. But the transaction was actually quite smooth. I was able to go through, pick the features I wanted, realized I had spent a lot of money on it, and so I tuned it back to, I went back to the beginning, chose features that I felt I needed, and it became much more reasonable. Found the look I liked, and then I made that purchase. One thing that they had notified me of after I made the purchase is that they were going to get an authorization on my credit card, and then that would fall off, and then eventually they would charge it once the stock shipped. I thought that was a little odd, and it is exactly what they did. They did do that. So it was a little bit weird. I would have preferred that they just charged the card and then shipped it once it was complete. Now, the one thing I had heard once again was that this took a really long time to get. About 2 weeks it took me. So I don't know if they've improved their process. I don't know if it was a slow time, but this was done right after the beginning of the year, probably a couple months after the beginning of the year. Transaction went through very quickly. It was shipped out very quickly. Shipping, it got here very, very quickly. And I was quite happy with it. I can't complain about that. So when I received it, I inspected the entire thing. It did look like it was manufactured quite well. I believe this is a laminate wood, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. And from Boyd's, if that's incorrect, feel free to make a comment down below. I did get a few chips on the stock. There's here, there's back here. There are a few fitments that are not 100%, but honestly, it's a custom stock, and going from the polymer stock it was on it, I'm much happier with this one than I was with that in any day of the week. The feel on this is much more solid. It features two sling point connections on the front. One I've just decided to use for my bipod up front. The other one is actually being used for a sling. There is a sling point on the rear side to attach a detachable sling. Also, there is a removable sling point on the side there, and up front you've got your grip. You have your grip piece here, as well as back on the horn of the stock. It does come with a trigger guard. The trigger guard I thought was going to be a metal, but it actually is a plastic or polymer combination. You use the screws that come with the rifle to attach everything. And the stock is actually a bedded stock, so it's actually quite good. It holds the barrel in, and the barrel is floated. They were able to get that correct. My barrel, when I put it in here, was perfectly floated. It is not touching anywhere but the mounting points. That's awesome. The fit and finish on it fits the gun very well. My problem was it probably was a little tight, and my wanting to adjust it was, I didn't really want to adjust it. So I wanted to fit it in here as it came from the factory or from Boyd's. And I'm glad I did, because it actually, in the end, it does fit in quite nice. It is a bit tight. It's much tighter than the polymer stock was. Few things that I would probably improve for this company if I had a say in it, which I don't, would be the instructions. They are kind of vague in some points. The installation of this can be a little challenging. One of the things I found to be a little odd was the insert. You have to use the mag release from the stock, from the factory stock, and there's really not much instruction on how to get that out. Basically, and I can't show how to swap this out, otherwise I probably would have done it on camera, but YouTube doesn't like that anymore. So one of the things I noticed is the magazine catch. You have to use the one from the factory, and it's not screwed in. That's right here on the camera there. And honestly, that was a little confusing on how to get that out. At first, it's in the the factory stock quite well, and all it is actually friction pressed. You have to get a pair of needle nose pliers on there and tug it evenly and directly out. Otherwise, you could snap it, you could break it, but there's really nothing in the instructions that tells you how to do that. To put it into the Boyd stock, you have to press it in evenly and flat. And once it's in there, it works just like the factory mag. Here's your magazine. Just slide it in, and the magazines are tight. Gets in there, and it holds. To get it out, push back, same thing as the factory. And once again, magazines are tight, so getting them in and out of here, not going to be quick. Now you could probably get in there with some sandpaper and smooth it out. I've decided to not do that yet, but I may in the future get in there with a little light sandpaper just to even it up and smooth it out. It's a little rough. Other than that, my complaints are pretty much none. I have not had a chance to take this out and shoot it yet. I can't wait to do that, but unfortunately life in general has kind of come in play, and I don't have the time I once had to go out and go shooting. So I'm trying to get more time to go do that. I have still the cheap scope that I put on this to test out. I want to see if it handles the 300 Winchester Magnum. We'll see. And I want to, if it doesn't, then I want to go ahead and get it replaced so I can get a better scope on here. I do plan on using this for hog hunting at one point or another, probably in the near future, but I want to make sure I've got a scope that's going to handle it. No, I'm not going to be running through the brush. I'm not going to be jumping through swamps. I'm not going to be diving underwater with this. It doesn't have to be an uber expensive scope, and it just has to be accurate and consistent. That's all I care about. But how many of you have ordered from Boyd's? What are your experiences with it? My experience was very positive. I like the stock very much. It feels good. The fit and finish on it is pretty decent, except for a few minor scratches from the factory. But other than that, I mean, it was very positive. I want to hear what you guys experienced with them. Is this consistent with what they've done? I'll throw up some pictures of it through here, and hopefully you guys can get a really good visual on what this thing looks like and how it feels. Other than that, go ahead and like, share, subscribe. If you like my channel, go ahead and share it out. This is Pagan Shooter. We'll see you next time.